News from top drives this week. Summer Games Challenge releases amongst controversy. Changes to daily event end times. Criteria for the Mazda 767B Tri-Series announced. Welcome to Sunday Night Top Drives News. My name is Jennifer. My top news story tonight is the controversy surrounding the new Summer Games Challenge. This is the first time the leaderboard system has been used for a useful purpose, and unfortunately it kicked off to a rocky start. There were two major issues exposed on Wednesday night, when the first of the events ended. The most obvious issue was that those players who leveled up in RQ received the Summer Games points from both of their events, therefore it was possible for players to have more than the maximum 1,000 points after one event. Since the accumulation of points is to allow access to an RQ 105 prize car, this was seen as a major oversight in the planning of the leaderboard and the way the points are allocated. Just to explain, within the Summer Games events, each player will be awarded up to 1,000 points per event, depending on the position they finished in. After 2 weeks, at the end of August, the collective amount of points you have, as shown in the league table, will allow you entry to the 4 levels of the Hall of Fame Challenge. Only the top 1,000 players, in the league table, at the end of the month, will be allowed to play for the Zenvo Legendary. Therefore you can see how a large oversight in the way the league table works can throw doubt on its accuracy, and therefore the trust players can have in it. Especially if you are on the 1,000th position borderline, or just outside it. It is accepted by most that the small advantage players are getting for those duplicate events may not be that critical over the 2 weeks, but if a player levels up RQ more than once, or twice, it could be, especially if you are one of those players knocked down the league table unfairly. Hutch have since responded, by removing the excess points from those players who have gained over 1,000 points from the duplicate events, restricting them to 1,000, which equals them with the top first place players. The second issue exposed by the first event results showed that those in lower RQ brackets, those under the maximum 500 RQ, were awarded the same Summer Games points for a position as those in the over 500 RQ brackets. As a new player, gaining a high placing in an event is often much easier than once you have passed into the general population of players at RQ 500. Therefore, it was seen by many as unfair that a player under RQ 500 should be awarded the same points as a player over RQ 500, since the competition is much easier. Hutch have adjusted future points for the lower RQ brackets so they are not equal to the 500 RQ bracket rewards. We have been ensured that this lower level of points will still be enough to unlock the Summer Games challenges, but not enough to jump into the top at the leaderboard and get unfair access to the Hall of Fame rewards. The end time of each daily 24-hour event has altered for all regions. If you are playing in the European server, then the events will end 2 hours earlier than previously, at 8 p.m. UK time. If you are playing in the American server, then the daily event will end 7 hours later. If you are playing in the Asian server, the daily event will end 15 hours later than 8 p.m. UK time. The timing changes for the Asian and American servers is understandable, and will presumably be met with a majority positive response. However, the change for the European players has caused a shift in play, for many. It has been noticed that there is less playing activity on the European daily events just before the event finish time. This could be due to players not remembering the new end time, or it could be that the earlier time is not a prime time period for people to play apps. Many UK and European players are used to the late evening end times, and moving it forward into prime evening family time may not be a popular move. If Hutch concludes this time change is a success, they will roll the new times out to all other events in the future. This week's Tri-Series car is the RQ96 Mazda 767B from 1989. The finals criteria has been announced as non-prize cars from 2022 to 2024. This does include some of the new Update 23 European Grand Tour cars, along with some from the previous American Overdrive update, and a few cars from updates going back to World Expo. We will know the track sets mid-week, but without that information, it is fair to presume these cars could be key. On dry twisty tracks, the McLaren, the KTM, and the very light Radical could be useful. On wet tracks, the Cadillac Lyric could be key again. And the best all-surface tire car, for the off-road tracks, is the new Audi SQ7. The finals launch on Thursday night. Before that, the quals event starts tonight, with the criteria of mid-engined, German or American cars. Good luck in the quals, prelims, and then also in the finals next weekend. Thank you for joining me tonight. That is all the news for this week. Have a successful week, and I will see you back here next Sunday night.